Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Kitty. On my channel, I do like to do scary stories. I do share sometimes personal stories of my life. I do a lot of live hauls. Sometimes I do makeup related videos, vlogs, and thrift hauls. So if one of those things speak to you, make sure to subscribe to my channel and follow my journey here on YouTube. For those of you who are new here, the way this works is my viewers will email me their story, personal encounters of Native American type stories to my email, and I read them as they come in. So if you would like to share your personal story, or you know of someone's story and would like to share, send it in. All the information will be at the end of this video, as well as down in the description area. Let's get started with the first story. The first story comes from the Navajo Nation. Hi Kitty, I would like to remain anonymous. In my experience with a skinwalker, this story takes place on the Navajo Nation in Bodaway Gap, Arizona, back over this summer. My two cousins and me left from a house party because my uncle got really drunk and his wife threatened to leave us because he wanted to fight me. Not uncommon in Native American parties, unfortunately, but let's keep going. The night was still getting started. Around 10 p.m., we decided to go to my cousin's place. Let's call him Jay. To finish our 30-pack he had in my truck, my other cousin, Ryan, also had a bottle of Crown Royal. We thought it was going to be an okay night, and so we had more than enough drinks to keep us busy. Let me remind you though, Jay lives in a hogan that still has not been fully built. He also lives 3 miles away from the highway, and the nearest neighbor lives 2 miles away in each direction. We got to his house and took out the generator and turned it on because he didn't have electricity. After a while, maybe 30 minutes of being there, we decided to start drinking. He came back inside and we continued to watch a movie, and literally 5 minutes into the movie, the generator shuts off. I go outside with Ryan and took a flashlight that was on the table. I needed to go to the bathroom too, so I went to the outhouse located about 30 feet on the west side of the hogan. While I was there, I had to relieve myself because of the beer. I heard Ryan turn the generator back on. Once I was done and started walking back to the hogan, I didn't have a flashlight. It was dark. I seen what looked like a tall creature with a coyote skin walking towards the truck, looking inside. Be mindful, I'm in the dark area still, and the porch light is not shining where I'm at. The dogs were just looking at it and not barking. I then fell over a bush that I didn't see in front of me, and the thing turns toward me, and all of a sudden the dog gets out of his trance and starts to bark at it. Jay then opens the door and the thing runs away toward the east. We go back inside and tell Ryan what we saw, and he got scared. We told Ryan to check for himself. He opened the door and we see a car take off at the highway. That's weird. I didn't expect it to end that way. So was that Yanni getting help from a car from the highway? Either way, that's scary though. Imagine, oh man, I have been to the Navajo reservation and it is pretty dark, and I always hated walking to the outhouse. I always had someone come with me, and it's pretty far, obviously, for obvious reasons, but man, that's scary. Ew! He literally tripped over a tree and that thing turned toward him. Ew! Ew, I got chills just imagining that in my head. That's freaking scary. Thank you so much for sending in your story. Let's get into the second one. Hi, Kitty. I only started watching your videos a few nights ago, but here's one. This happened in southern New Mexico, Pueblo. During the summer, I started hanging out with an old middle school boyfriend. We began hanging out more and more, and we picked up a relationship again. One night, he picked me up, and of course, us being young, we were wanting to go drink. It was around the evening time. We went into town to pick up his cousin and the girlfriend, which was about a 45-minute to 50-minute drive from where we were staying for a couple of days, which was located in the mountains, about 15 minutes away from the Pueblo. As we cruised back to the house we were drinking, we were all feeling pretty buzzed and decided to go further up the mountains to a place which is called the Tunnels. Reason being is that rocks from the mountain created massive tunnels, and there was a river, small waterfalls which cut through the mountains, so it's a common visited area where teens like to drink and party. I began to get a weird feeling as if we were being watched, and I took my boyfriend away from his cousin and girlfriend to tell him the way I felt. As I told him how I was feeling, I wanted to cover my hair just because of the way I felt. Being Native, I was told to never let anybody get a hold of your hair. Very true, I feel like, for a lot of tribes. As I began pushing my hair into my hoodie, all of a sudden my hoodie was pulled off. While that happened, my boyfriend was talking to me. I thought he didn't notice. I attempted it again, but didn't tell my boyfriend. I wanted to see it happen again to make sure what I felt was not something that was just in my head. As I did, it happened again. I stopped my boyfriend from talking and told him what I felt and to watch. Again, my hoodie pulled over my head as if something was trying to get my hair. He told me he noticed it, but didn't want me to get scared. He grabbed my arm and told his cousin, "Let's get the F out of here." We got into the car and he rushed us home. We got home, his sister came out and asked if we were okay. He told her yeah, as he didn't want to scare her. We took back his cousin and his girlfriend. We got back to the house and decided to lay down and fall asleep, but I couldn't shake the feeling. The next morning, we were sitting in the living room and his sister asked us what happened while we were away. We told her everything. She said that while we were gone, she could feel something lingering around the house, but it went away as soon as we pulled up. To this day, this thing bothers us, and they say that being in a new relationship or having something someone doesn't can make people jealous and envy it. It can lead to bad experiences, just like the ones we had. That's scary. Do Pueblo tribes experience skinwalker type activity in your tribe? But I do know like witchcraft and different forms of witchcraft obviously are practiced in a lot of cultures and races, so either way that's scary. But yeah, that's the way I was taught to, was to never let anybody touch your hair or cut your hair, or yeah, because it's just a big no-no in the Native American community. So the fact that you were out in the middle of nowhere and something kept trying to get your hair in the dark, that's creepy. I hope you guys got some kind of ceremony done or some type of blessing done, because if that thing is still bothering you today, I I would get something done, girl. Thank you for sending in your story. Let's get into the last one. This last one is a short one, but I'm going to go ahead and read it because they took the time to send it in. Hi, Kitty. My late husband was a drug addict and alcoholic. He came home from work drunk often. One time, I had a neighbor in the house when he came through the door, all pissed off and ready to fight. I had had enough. I told him to get his shit and get out. He stopped, looked me in the eyes, and his eyes rolled back into his head. Then they turned completely black. He spoke in a guttural voice that was not his and said, "You get out, bitch. I was invited." Ew. The neighbor ran out of the house. I just went about my business. No demon's gonna chase me out of my home. When he came to his sober hours later, he didn't remember. I kept telling him, drugs and alcohol will take your soul, and eventually they did. They don't call it spirits for nothing, and there was a reason some reservations are dry. Take care and keep telling your stories. That's creepy. Yeah. I always like now that I'm sober and I think back of my partying days and stuff, and I just of all the stuff I had seen, while boozing and, doing other things, it just trips me out how vulnerable we are when we're under the influence of something, and just how much bad things happen, as well as being out like in the clubs and stuff. Like there's a lot of evil, and it's pretty crazy. Yeah, be careful out there, you guys. Be careful. That is all I have for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. I know I haven't been consistent, but I really want to be, and I'm trying, you guys. Please stick around and bear with me. For those of you who are new here, I do own my small business, which is called Bajan Beauty. If you guys are interested, all the information is down in the description, as well as my social medias for my small business. It is cosmetics. Everything you need to know about it is down below, website and all. Before I go, I do need to let you guys know how to get a hold of me if you want to send in your story. All you got to do is email whatwouldkittydo12@gmail.com, and I will get to your story as soon as I can. If I haven't read your story, please do not be upset. I go in the order as they come. Thank you so much for staying until the very end. Give this video a big thumbs up. Hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you're not. We'll see you in the next one.